Mr. Klein's Story Time.
Hello, my name is Mr. Klein. I've been an elementary school teacher for almost 30 years, and I love reading stories to young people just like you. In fact, I've got a great story that I'd like to share with you right now. So let's get started.
Under Our Clothes, Our First Talk About Our Bodies, by Dr. Jillian Roberts, illustrations by Jane Heinrichs. When you venture out into the world around us, you will see people with all kinds of body types. They can be tall, short, thin, round, or anything in between. All shapes and sizes of bodies are beautiful. It is important for everyone to feel comfortable in their body, regardless of what size or shape it is. And it is important that everyone respects and takes good care of their body. When I was in the change room last week, I noticed that some people change behind a towel or in private rooms, and others don't mind being seen naked. Why? Different people have different thoughts and feelings about their bodies. Most of these ideas come from the homes and cultures they were raised in. Some people prefer to behave more modestly. They might want to keep their bodies covered up, even when they are in a change room. Other people feel their bodies don't need to be covered, that they are just a part of nature. Different people have different attitudes about their bodies, privacy, and modesty, and that's perfectly okay. What is modesty? To be modest is to act or dress in a way that avoids drawing attention to yourself. Modesty is different for everyone, and it's not just about how you dress, but also about how you think and behave. Everyone has different ideas about what modesty means to them, and it is important not to judge others for how they show modesty. What is privacy? Privacy means being free of unwanted attention. Body privacy means having others respect your personal space and not touching your body or forcing you to show off your body in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. This means no one should touch you without permission, and no one should ask you to show parts of your body you do not feel comfortable showing. Privacy also includes your thoughts, values, and beliefs. You do not need to share everything that you are thinking or feeling, and you can't expect others to share their private thoughts and feelings with you. Why are there different change areas for boys and girls? That's a good question. Many people feel most comfortable changing their clothes only with other people of their same sex, and certain religions and cultures require it. The practice of grouping boys and girls separately is common, and in most places around the world, you'll see that there are separate public restrooms and change rooms for females and males. Gender-neutral restrooms. A gender-neutral restroom can be used by a person of any gender identity. These bathrooms usually have a sign to show that people of all gender identities are welcome to use the facility. Most bathrooms are divided into male and female spaces. Gender-neutral restrooms are important as they provide a welcoming and safe space for those who may not fit into the traditional binary system. For instance, those who are transgender or do not identify as either a male or a female. Gender-neutral bathrooms welcome diversity. If everyone has a body under their clothes, why does it matter? How come we wear bathing suits and have change rooms anyway? There are parts of our bodies that we consider private and other parts that we don't. In most cultures, you cover up the parts of your body that are private when you are in public. Your bathing suit and underwear cover your genitals, which are considered your most private parts. Clothes and bathing suits also help to keep us safe. They remind us which body parts are private and not for others to touch or make us feel uncomfortable about. And of course, clothes help to keep us warm. A little bit about boundaries. Boundaries can be like invisible safety fences around us. One example of a boundary is your personal bubble. This is the space around your body that belongs to you. When someone makes you feel uncomfortable by being too close to you, they are crossing a boundary, your personal space boundary. Do you know what your own boundaries are and what makes you feel uncomfortable? Practice clearly stating your boundaries with an adult you trust. This will help you do it with others as well. Is it ever okay for someone to look at my private parts? From time to time, a doctor may need to look at or touch the private parts of your body to make sure you are healthy. And when babies and kids are very young, they sometimes need help washing their private parts in the bath. Parents often do this for their children to keep their bodies clean and healthy. You might see a woman expose her breasts in a public place to feed her baby. This is called breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is a natural thing. Moms produce milk in their bodies that contains nutrients to keep their babies nourished and help them grow. And babies don't like waiting for their food, so breastfeeding can happen anywhere and at any time. Some mothers prefer to cover up their breasts and/or nurse in private, and others feed their babies with a bottle. These choices are personal and should be respected. How do I know when something is right or wrong? I want to keep my body safe, but I'm not sure what to do. It all starts with knowing what feels comfortable for you and what your boundaries are. The body safety checklist on this page can help you keep yourself safe and know what to do when something is happening that is not okay. It's important to know your own boundaries and to respect others' boundaries. We want to feel comfortable, safe, and heard, and help make our friends and family feel the same way. Body Safety Checklist. My body belongs to me and no one else. My body is mine, and only I get to choose how and when it is touched. I know my warning signs. I know how I feel emotionally and physically when something feels uncomfortable and/or unsafe. I must recognize and respect those feelings. No secrets. I must always tell a trusted adult if something has happened that has made me feel uncomfortable and/or unsafe, and no one should ever ask me to keep a secret from the trusted adults in my life. Private parts. I understand which parts of my body are private and off limits, and I understand that these same parts are off limits on others' bodies. When someone crosses this boundary or attempts to cross this boundary, I must tell an adult I trust right away. What if someone touches a different part of my body, one that isn't private, and I don't like it? Can I still say no? Absolutely. Your body is your body, and nobody should be touching any part of it if you don't want them to. And the same goes for you. If somebody tells you not to touch a part of their body, you need to respect them and their personal boundary. If somebody crosses your personal space boundary, you need to say no. And if it makes you uncomfortable or has to do with touching your private parts, you need to tell an adult you trust right away. It is never okay for someone to cross your body boundaries or to touch you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. What is consent? Consent is letting people know it's okay to come into your personal bubble. Giving people permission or consent is very important because it keeps kids and grown-ups safe. An example of a time when you can give consent is when someone asks for a hug or kiss. It's okay to say no when this happens. You don't have to do things with your body to make other people happy. It's okay to change your mind, to say no sometimes and yes other times, depending on how you feel. And it's important for you to ask for consent from others, for you to say, "Do you want a hug?" or "Can I hold your hand?" When we were little, my sister and I used to take baths together, but now she wants privacy. Did I do something wrong? It is normal as we get older to feel more modest and to want more privacy. Bodies change as we grow up, and so do our boundaries and our sense of privacy. It doesn't mean you did anything wrong. It means your sister is probably becoming more aware of the private parts of her body, and she is listening to that voice inside her that is saying she needs to ask for more personal space. As kids grow older and become teens, they begin to experience changes in the body that are part of maturing and becoming adults. This process is called puberty. Puberty can be confusing, and some people feel embarrassed about it, but everyone goes through this period. During puberty, both boys and girls begin to produce more hormones in their bodies, but the hormones in boys' bodies act differently than the ones in girls' bodies. Puberty causes changes in height, body shape, where your hair grows, your skin, and your emotions and feelings. My friend always wears a t-shirt at the pool. He says he doesn't like the way he looks. Why would he not like his own body? It sounds like your friend feels self-conscious about his body. This means a person is worried about how they look to others. Your friend might be worried that people will look at him and only see the things that he doesn't like about his own body. That might cause him to feel embarrassed. We should all love the bodies we're in. Unfortunately, people often become self-conscious because we get a lot of messages from the world around us telling us we have to look a certain way. Sometimes when a person doesn't look like people they see in magazines or on TV, they become uncomfortable and feel awkward in their own body. Body shaming is a type of bullying where people are threatened, insulted, or hurt because of their body shape or size. Body shaming can happen when others spread rumors or through online bullying. People who are overweight or underweight, or who have something different about their appearance, can be targets of body image bullying. Our bodies in the media. Sometimes young people want to look like the actors and models we see on TV and in magazines and on social media. But actors have help making their hair and makeup look perfect, and the pictures in magazines are often edited and changed. While these are real people, the way they are portrayed to us isn't very realistic, and comparing ourselves to them can just make us feel bad about ourselves. Every person looks, feels, and thinks differently, and that is what is most beautiful about all of us. I wish he didn't worry about that stuff. I think he's the best. That's the surprising thing about being self-conscious. The people who know us and love us see the whole person we are, not just what's on the outside. People tend to think worse of themselves or be harder on themselves than others are on them. This is an important thing to remember. Just because you see things about yourself you don't like doesn't mean others see them, and it doesn't mean they agree with how you feel. A little bit about self-esteem. When you have high self-esteem, you feel good and confident about yourself. When you have low self-esteem, you feel bad about yourself, do not have confidence, and feel insecure. Everyone has times when they feel down about themselves, but when this happens, look for the positive. Recognize when you are feeling bad and find something about yourself, it can be something really small or really big, that makes you feel good. I guess sometimes I wish I could change things about the way I look too. Many of us have those thoughts from time to time, but you can work on having positive self-esteem, which means being happy with who you are. And the best way to work on building positive self-esteem is to start by accepting yourself and loving yourself just the way you are. Positive self-talk is a wonderful way to boost your self-esteem and self-confidence. If you start to feel bad about yourself, see if you can change your thinking and build your confidence back up. Here are some examples of self-talk that will remind you how amazing you are. I am thankful for my healthy body. It lets me walk, run, jump, and dance. I am a really good friend. I care about the people around me. Just like we have to take care of our bodies, we have to take care of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions, our mental health. To take care of our mental health, we can participate in activities that make us feel good, spend time with people we love, and ask for help when we are feeling angry, sad, overwhelmed, or any other negative emotion. Is there anything I can do to help my friend feel better about himself? Your friend has to work on his own self-esteem. It comes from within him. But you can help by noticing the things about him that make him so great. What do you enjoy about your friend? What are the things about how he lives, acts, and behaves that you admire? What is he good at? Taking the time to appreciate your friends and family for the kind way they act or for their creative ideas can help them build positive self-esteem. And don't forget to acknowledge all the great things about yourself. Internal qualities, or character traits, are the ways we act, think, or feel. They're not just the ways we act once, but the ways we act most of the time. Examples of internal qualities include being kind, being respectful, being honest, being loving, and being generous. Talking about body boundaries and self-esteem is really important. Observing the world around you and learning how different people feel and think will help you build confidence in yourself and help others too. And remember, you can always ask the adults in your life about the things that are on your mind. A note from Dr. Jillian Roberts, author and child psychologist. When I was growing up, I didn't feel good about my body. I spent years feeling uncomfortable in my own skin. I didn't learn the lessons I'm trying to share in this book until much later in life. It was one of my greatest hopes that the children of this generation can have a different experience and learn to cherish and take care of their bodies. I've always enjoyed being around people who see beyond what's on the outside. There is so much more to us as people than simply what we look like. I really hope young readers take away from this conversation how special their bodies are and how important it is to learn about body boundaries and build positive self-esteem. The end. Please see next page for more information.
Thank you for coming to Storytime. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I read new stories every week, so be sure to hit the subscribe button if you'd like to hear another one. Hope to see you again soon.